Hey everybody, thank you for joining Valentine TV. Um, we are wait a minute. Okay, this is the part two version of what I promised. As far as Stephanie goes, y'all, she's to describe right now everything that's been happening to her at this Diddy trial, okay? And that's why I'm asking y'all to please share this video, share. All right, so I'm gonna let her go ahead and talk, and then I'll be back. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This reaction is coming from uh, got a little rotten mango. I hardly do reactions on her, but when I heard about what she's going through in New York, I just thought I'd do do my part and share it as best I can. And that's what y'all. So y'all please share the video. Um dang. All right. As far as I know though, last I heard she was in the courtroom. Okay, but now we got this long freaking weekend, which I don't mind Juneteenth, you know what I mean? But yeah. So Monday, no, Friday. They'll be back in Friday. So from all I've heard, she has been in the courtroom every day. He was just kept talking. I know you. I know you. I know you. To her, you know? Then people outside messing with her. All right, just let me let y'all hear it. And then y'all can understand why I'm concerned myself. Oh, girl.
Have no relation to the actual trial and the actual happenings of the trial with all the testimonies of the witnesses. So the first 20 minutes are honestly just some behind the scenes information on things that we've been kind of working with. So if that is no interest to you, just skip ahead. I will say though, it has been a rough few weeks. This is our fourth time moving locations. One of them was completely unrelated to the case, and the rest of the times that we've moved to different places to stay, it's just been getting weird, and we're taking all the necessary precautions to keep the entire team safe. And I feel like I haven't really spoken about any of the things that have been happening behind the scenes, so I just want to fill you guys in. There has been so much happening inside the courthouse, or right after the court, or the entire team, like right before we go into the courthouse. And it's just things that we can't really put our finger on. And at the risk of sounding like we're overly paranoid, I'm just going to try and tell you and explain why I think that we've been on edge recently. I'm just going to paint the picture for you. This is not creepy, it's just pure chaos. Outside the courthouse, it is a literal zoo every single day. I see TikToks here and there of people capturing this chaotic tornado that's happening, and it is wild how desensitized everybody is getting to just how incredibly messy everything is. A few days ago, there was a man who came to the courthouse with this giant 2x4 plank of wood, and he was, in a rather menacing way, slamming it against the street poles. He swung it at a reporter. Thankfully, she did not get hit, but it was still terrifying nevertheless. And this is actually the second time within the span of like a few business days that the police have been called on this specific person. He has been around the line for a while. He has been consistently standing in the line to get into the courthouse, and then in the morning, he tries to sell his spot. I will say that this man is very intense. Our only interactions with him personally is that he is very aggressive, and he will aggressively scream "ni hao" at us and expect us to say it back. And so we do, because we're terrified. His friend is also very intense. There was one morning where I was going over transcripts before the courthouse opened. So I'm like sitting on the ledge of the sidewalk and I'm going over the transcripts. He's standing towering over me, and he's like demanding to know what I thought about Cassie's testimony. I told him I'm busy. I have work to do. I'm like going over the transcripts, and he keeps insisting me in a pretty threatening way. He's like towering over me. Why can't I help you? You don't think I can help you? You don't think I'm capable of helping you? I'm telling you I can help you right now. And it just took so long to get him to finally walk away. He was definitely erratic, unpredictable. It felt like he wanted me to answer his persistent questions about what I felt about Cassie's testimony so that he would have a reason to start freaking out. That was the feeling. There was another incident where a man was believed to be holding a pool ball inside of a sock.
Y'all remember that? I remember that. I saw that. I saw him from somebody else's lens, But I saw him out there, y'all. Yeah.
He's like threatening to swing it around and hit people with it. We didn't see it. We were warned about it. So we like stayed in the courthouse a little bit longer before exiting that day. And it's the same guy that allegedly we heard again that he spat at a reporter. He was screaming homophobic slurs at people in the line. And the NYPD, they will just take the people harassing the public and the press outside waiting to get into the courthouse, will lead them across the street and then send them off. They literally just cross the street with them. We've seen this happen almost every other day. I mean, I think they can't really do anything unless someone demands to press charges or, I don't know, actually, God forbid, gets injured. So that's great.
This is how. Shut the fuck up, bitch. This is the public. I said, shut the fuck up, bitch. I said, I called you a bitch.
There is heavy police presence there. The U.S. Marshals are out there every single day, but there are just nonstop people, unwarranted, unprompted, just spawning out of thin air, screaming at everybody. I honestly feel like some of these people are coming to the courthouse to get a fight out of their system. That's the feeling. That's the only way I can describe it. People are trying to argue about pretty much everything outside of this courthouse. I am told that this is very New York, which we have spent some time in New York and had a place here for a while, and it feels like every interaction, like every bad interaction I've had in New York, amplify it times 1,000 and then add it all up. And then I have to relive that experience every single day. We're trying.
That is scary. That's some scary stuff, y'all. I don't care. I mean, I remember this man, but he kept talking to her. Oh, I know you. And oh yeah, let's let her get some time, like her, the researcher that was with her, and the researcher kept turning her back. I'm thinking, I said, oh, she's shy. She's used to being in the background because Stephanie used to be the one that talks, right? Reports. And the other one just fixes everything up neatly and for Stephanie, right? So she just kept turning around. I did not know, y'all. I will be watching from now on, though. You can best believe like I can do something, but I'm doing this. I can do this. All right. Y'all, please subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see.
To keep to ourselves. We're really just trying to mind our own business. But even so, just a few days ago, one of our team members was waiting in the line super early, gets harassed to the point of tears. A passerby is cursing at her, screaming belligerently at her, tries to snatch her phone from her hand. We've been told that she's been starting quite a few fights outside the courthouse. This is completely unprompted. She's screaming racist slurs at our team member's face. Nobody cares. Nobody helps. Like, people are just standing around live streaming it, filming it, watching it. And then afterwards, after the crazy lady leaves, the same people that were filming, that did nothing to help our team member, are now filming her as they comfort her. And they're like trying to rub her back and tell her it's okay. It is so dystopian. We were inside the courthouse, so we didn't even know until after the fact. There were briefly a group of protesters wearing Free Diddy shirts across the street from the courthouse. They were allegedly getting paid $20 an hour to stand outside and wear Free Diddy t-shirts to promote the Diddy coin, which we've also received an email about. It's like a crypto coin for Diddy, so there's that. There are people seemingly thirsting after Sean Combs' sons when they arrive and leave for court, with one supporter of the son, not Diddy supporter, kissing Justin Combs on the cheek. Which, speaking of, I will say, there has been an uptick of Diddy supporters coming into the courthouse through the public side. One supporter even tries to hand Sean Combs a stack of papers, which Officer Riz promptly put an end to, but there was a futile attempt. The supporters staying outside the courthouse, they've been slightly confrontational with the press and confrontational with a lot of others that are just live streaming right outside. So that's just setting the scene of what's been happening outside the courthouse.
What do y'all think about this? Had no idea. I know I stopped seeing her like doing reports and stuff outside, because she used to talk to everybody outside. Just nice. But all of a sudden I didn't see her, and Lord. Stephanie, y'all, your whole team, y'all be safe out there. Jeez. Let's see.
Also, why is fresh and fit Myron in the courtroom? Like, he was in the main courtroom for, I think, at least a few days last week. I haven't seen him the past few days, but he could be in the overflow rooms. I did see him outside while when he first started coming around. He's recording outside while a woman is undressing down into her underwear. This is like right outside the federal courthouse. This is how chaotic it's been, which, if you're not familiar, Myron is the fresh and fit guy. If you're luckily unfamiliar with his podcast, which I don't even think is around anymore, he would have this format where he would bring a bunch of women onto the podcast, many of them being OnlyFans models, and he just essentially berates them for being alive. I mean, that's factually incorrect, but emotionally, that's what you're going to feel from the podcast. There are at least 5 times I wrote in my notebook, why is Myron here? Like, I don't know why he's here. But what's interesting about him is he's actually quite meek in real life. Not that I think he should carry himself as he does on his podcast in the courthouse, but he's rather, like, he has a very soft demeanor. Softer than other content creators that I run into in the elevators, which is not what I expected of him. Like, we were in the elevator with him once and everybody's shuffling out and we were waiting for him to leave and he's just like, oh yeah, no, please go ahead. But like very softly. Nevertheless, that's just like painting the picture of the chaos. There have been a lot of incidents though that have us feeling just weird. Right outside the federal courthouse, there is this one gigantic line that is filled with press and public. You got members of the press, you got members of the public, all in one singular line. The only way that you can kind of differentiate is like maybe they have on their press badge at the time. Now, this line typically starts the day before. The line sometimes starts before we get out of court sometimes. So the line starts while we're inside the courthouse. Clearly, nobody can be at 2 places at once. So a lot of the press members, they will hire line waiters. And just to give you an idea, a lot of the press pews, yes, there's a few independent journalists in there. A good number of them are all with Legacy Media, and Legacy Media has a lot of money. We're a small team, and just to keep up, we're having to spend about $1,000 a day to have line sitters. Actually, more, to just make sure we get into that main courtroom to be able to give you all the details that we really want to provide for you guys. So there's this giant line outside, press and public all in one line, and then right before the security line into the courthouse, the U.S. Marshals will come out and divvy up the line. So they'll make a press line and they'll make a public line. So it's in order. So if you're like the 5th in line, you might be the 2nd member of the press, or you might be the 3rd member of the public, and they'll just kind of sort you one by one, depending on the order. Now, I will say that a good chunk of the public line are content creators, so it's kind of like a mini press line. Also, these days, though, lots of supporters of Sean Combs that are not part of his friends and family that are going in through the public side as well. And then once you get inside the courtroom, the press pews are on the right side and the public pews are on the left side. Recently, there have been so many whisperings and just confusion because there have been people, different people each time, that will lurk around this gigantic main line outside before it's separated. And you'll see that in the beginning, I think the Legacy Media, they're a lot more intense about getting spots in the main courtroom. So good chunk of the first half of the gigantic line are press. There will be random people that will walk up and down this line, primarily focusing on the press members at the very front, and they'll act like they're just walking up and down for exercise, and they will be secretly recording everyone on their phones. Now, mind you, there are a lot of people live streaming outside, so it's not like they're live streaming. It's like they're trying to be discreet, like they're recording, but they don't want the press members to know that they're recording. So it's becoming incredibly uncomfortable, and all the press members are trying to warn each other once they spot someone like this. And it feels like it's every other day that they spot someone secretly recording members of the press. And it's confusing because, you know, a lot of the members of the press, these people are very impressive.
Y'all, please, please, please. Because Stephanie, y'all, we just got to share this. Share it. Okay? So subscribe, like, share the video, share it. I'm sharing it to Twitter. I'm sharing it to everywhere that I can share it. And this, I'm trying to do my best to share it because I want to stay safe in New York. Because I heard the more it gets to the end of the trial, that the rougher and crazier the people are going to get. Now I heard that. I didn't know. I knew she had disappeared from like talking to the public like she was doing, but I didn't know that people were messing with them either. I mean, All right, Stephanie, I'm trying, girl.
Producers, reporters, journalists that have been in the industry for years, they work with legacy media. They're not the type of people that are just going to say unhinged stuff in broad daylight in a public setting or air out confidential information on the side of the street. So it's not like you're recording the press member saying anything salacious or juicy or even worth capturing on camera. It feels like they're recording to get a general vibe of the members of the press. Because right before we go in, we might have small talk about maybe yesterday's testimony or like what's to be expected when we walk in today, who's testifying today. Like there's little conversations like that where maybe you could see each members of the press, maybe you'll see a little bit of their feelings about how it's going, maybe you'll see like tiny bits of their opinions, nothing salacious. Maybe it's more like, oh, I almost cried when she was testifying. Like those are the types of comments you hear. It's really not worth recording. And I say that it's been weird because those same people that are trying to discreetly record, they will often approach members of the press asking questions about how they feel about the case thus far. And they'll try to do it in a very casual manner. But again, we're all warning each other that they're recording us. I think it's been pretty easy for my researchers and I to tell if someone that we meet near or outside or even sometimes inside the courthouse is a genuinely curious person, or if they're asking a lot of strange questions. And that's why it's so hard to explain any of this in a way that doesn't make us seem super dramatic, because we'll get similar questions asked by people who we feel are genuinely just supporters of the podcast or just intrigued because maybe they themselves are trying to start social media. So the past 2 weeks, we have had almost, I want to say it's like more than a handful. I think it's been like 8 or 9 times in the past like week. Not people that we see in the courtroom every single day. Completely new faces that will come up to us, tell us that they love our show, Rotten Mango, and then they keep asking us where we're staying, which hotel we're staying at, which part of the city we're staying at. And of course, we give them very non-committal answers because that's a very invasive question to ask.
Not only that, they even ask like, who's here?
Yes. Oh, I'm going to get into
they?
that. So like just to give you an idea, like clearly if someone is a member of the press or if it's a fellow content creator or somebody that I see every single day and we have some sort of foundation and they ask me, where are you staying? It feels like, oh, because we're all trying to get a gauge of all the hotels nearby, which one's a good one, which one has good amenities for after court. But these are random people that are like, hey, by the way, I love your show. Nice to meet you. My name is blank. Where are you staying? It's like instant. It's just nonstop questions about which hotel we're staying at. And then if we evade the question, it becomes what part of the city, which area, how long does it take you to get here? Do you Uber or do you walk? Who's all staying with you? Is it just you guys? Is it just you and your researcher here? Do you go home during the weekends if you're not from the city?
Don't y'all think that's weird as crap? That's weird. I mean, that's weird even if Diddy wasn't on trial, but for everybody to react to like cutting the food, as my family would say, man, that is crazy. Yeah, so, and then Diddy didn't mouth her twice, I know you. Then the people outside harassing, like, it's like they just targeting her team. Her and her researcher, right? Man, some scary stuff.
You fly back home? Do you take the train? Like it's just nonstop.
Like, what are some of these questions going to provide for this person? Like
Nothing.
There's no need for anybody to ask these type of questions.
And the worst part is it's pretty clear that we're so uncomfortable with these questions because we'll literally be like, yeah, haha. And then they'll just keep asking.
And some of them don't seem like they've really watched anything from you. Yeah.
Because now, like, our researchers do this thing where they will try to have conversations about the show. And most of them have no clue what the show is even about, is the feeling.
Yeah.
And then this person will just vanish. That'll be like the first conversation we have with them, and then we'll never see them in court again. So one specific time, there was a man, an older guy, who's asking us where we're staying, just pressing. And he's in the main courtroom, in the public section. He's asking us all these invasive questions, and then he's waiting for us in the hallway during each break, just casually lingering near us the entire day, and then just rerouting every conversation back to which hotel you're staying at, pressing details. My researcher passes me a note later in the day saying, look at him right now. he doesn't even have a notebook. So usually, because you can't bring your phone, and you're not just like staring. I mean, even members of the public, they're all taking notes, even if they're not content creators. Sure enough, I look, no notebook, no notes are being taken, nothing. And then he never shows up to court again. Another odd instance, this is a completely separate person that's asking nonstop where we're staying. We give a non-committal answer to him. He keeps asking. And again, it's not giving that, hey, I'm genuinely curious because I'm also staying at a hotel. It's just so unsettling. We refuse to answer. We keep laughing it off. He keeps pressing. Later during a break, he approaches my researcher outside while I'm in the bathroom. And then he asks her where I'm staying. Oh, and she again does not respond because he just asked us while we were together. It was just weird. He literally just asked us. This has been happening like every other day. There are other odd questions that are asked by people that don't necessarily look like they even care about the show in the slightest. So one person in particular asked a series of questions trying to gauge how much, quote, power I have over my audience. Like they kept asking, like, can you make them do anything? And I was like, do you think I like run a cult? I think half of them don't even like me that much. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't make them do anything, period? But they kept asking, like, well, you don't think if you say something, they would listen to you? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they would do their own research. And it did not seem like this person cared at all about this show. Now, this could be completely unrelated. And in addition to everything else that I've just talked about, everybody's already pretty intense. There was one instance where we're walking out of the courthouse. We run into someone who's like, hey, I love your show. That's it. And then they like come in for a hug. It was kind of abrupt. I was a little bit taken off guard. I love your show. Pulling me in for a hug. And my researcher snatches my arm, pulls me back and is like, we got to go. Our car is here. And I thought it was kind of strange. So we get into the car and she's telling me their hand was like elbow deep into your tote bag. It's clear that they're looking for something. Now, I will say that my tote bag opening is quite large, but it's right under my armpit. So you would have to attempt to stick your arm in there. It would not be an accident, like, oh, I'm hugging you and my hand just ended up in this side. It's like elbow deep. So, I mean, I guess they could have been trying.
What y'all think? What would y'all think about it? Man, she better have security. She better get security for real. I don't know how you do all that security stuff, but there are ways, because I know somebody who has some. But yeah, girl, get security out there. Wow, because she seems so nice and free, and she just nice.
Trying to steal my wallet, but it was weird. There's a lot of other small incidents that have taken place over the past week and a half. It feels like the weirdness and the influx of all these odd questions of where are you staying? How much influence do you have increased, especially the where are you staying ones. I mean, I've never had that many people ask me where I'm staying. And maybe it's coupled with all the chaos outside, with the people like threatening to hurt people with a pool ball and a sock outside. Maybe it has to do with the intensity of the case itself, and it's just all accumulated into this very stressful situation. But we have been just taking a bit more time to worry about our surroundings. Honestly, nothing really happened. It's just, when you have a gut feeling like something's not right, it's kind of a lot of those that have been creeping us out, and we're just trying to stay on top of it before it escalates to anything. We could definitely just be paranoid, but I wanted to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on behind. But as of right now, nothing has really happened. Don't be worried. Nobody here is terrified. It's just been weird, and we're trying to be alert. We've been moving around to different places where we stay a bit more mindful to just not come straight back to where we stay after court. Just taking all these like necessary small steps, and it just takes time. Because it's not just me, it's my researchers, it's my whole team. We're all just trying to make sure everybody feels safe and comfortable. And that's what we've been dealing with more in the past week. But I think that we should be able to get episodes up more quickly. I think we have a really good plan in place for all of us to feel safe, and hopefully it works. So with that being said, let's get into the actual episode.
All right, y'all. Okay, so I just wanted y'all to see what she was going through. I did part one, but part one didn't do justice. Now this one, creepy. Now this one, and they put them together, crazy. So I'm glad they are like watching more and not talking to as many people, sticking together, hopefully, you know what I mean? And now that she has all of us, well, not me, I'm not there, but all the content creators and more people looking out for her also while she's at the court. So hopefully that helps. Okay. And y'all please share it, help her more. Okay. All right. All right. I had to do it. I've never did a reaction on her channel ever. But I know I remember her. All right. So thank y'all. I appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank y'all for coming to Valentine TV. All right. Good night, y'all.